Hey guys, in my last video I said I was going to link some parts in the description, but instead what I've decided to do is I've decided to make an entire parts list video showing you a full breakdown on what parts you should get if you have, say, a €600 budget. So that's what we're doing in this case. But I will be making more based on extreme budgets. This is a €600 gaming PC, so maybe some people have tighter budgets or looser budgets where they can scale all the way up to 1500 or even €2,000. So in this video, I'm going to start with 600. And if you guys want me to do a video on any other budget, I am happy to do that. Just leave a comment down below and I will start working on it. So to start with this, I'm recording this on Thursday or Tuesday, the 19th of May, 2020. And this processor, which is the AMD Ryzen 3 3100, it hasn't actually been released yet, but the benchmarks are out and it is going to be a good chip. So that's why I'm recommending it. Um, so you can pick that up for £99. I don't know what that is in euros. Just use a currency converter and it should be fine. Uh, so that's what I've gone for the processor. It's a pretty good quad core. 4 cores, 8 threads, and it's more than enough for gaming. I've seen in benchmarks, and it also comes with this nice little cooler here, and it's a pretty good stock cooler, so you don't need to get any other cooler, which is pretty nice. For the motherboard, I've gone for the ASRock B450M Pro 4-F. It's a micro ATX board, and there's nothing too special about this board. I just made sure that it was on the B450 chipset, which to be honest is fine for a Ryzen 3. As the B550 boards come in, these will start to go away, these B450s, but they may start coming down in price, which would be really nice. And you could pick one up for a really good deal. I would avoid A320, and if B550 is expensive when it comes out, I'd avoid it too, because for a Ryzen 3 build, you don't really want to go crazy with anything. You just want to get the best performance you can get. So there's nothing too special about the board. There is the IO here, two PS2s, two USB 2s. These display uh, options you won't actually be able to use because the Ryzen chip doesn't have any onboard graphics. And then you get a USB Type C and four USB 3s and a gigabit LAN, and then some basic audio ports. And that, uh, let's see, what is this? Seven. Yeah. So they're actually seven USB 3.1 Gen 1s. I don't know why they're black then. I guess they're USB 3.1s. But yeah, and one of them is Type C. So, and then the board also comes with a bit of RGB. So if you're into that, and there are the headers here. So you got two normal RGBs, which are the 12 volt, and you have the one addressable, which is a 5 volt. And you can't use an addressable in a RGB pin or an ARGB or an RGB and an ARGB pin either. But the motherboard is nothing special. Basic VRM layout and basic cooling. And I've picked it for this build because it might be okay for light overclocking, but I don't want to go crazy with the budget either. I want to make sure we can get a good spread across all parts. But it's got four DIMM slots, which is nice, and it also has that M.2 slot for the future if you ever want to go for an M.2 SSD. It actually has two, but I wouldn't put two in this board. I would just get a new board and then go something like that. And of course, you can upgrade this anywhere from Ryzen, well, any of the Ryzen 3rd gen. It won't support Ryzen 4th gen, unfortunately, but I think that's okay. For RAM, I'm just going to move straight into RAM. I've gone for uh, Corsair Vengeance LPX 16 gigs of that, and it's at 3200 speed, 3200 megahertz. It's a nice stick of RAM. They're very reliable. I've used them before, and they're great stick of RAM. And to be honest, there's probably not a techie that wouldn't recommend these. They're They're very reliable, and Ryzen loves its RAM speed, so 3200 megahertz is going to perform very nicely on this chip. Next, I'm going to move on to storage, and I've gone for an ADATA 480 gig SSD. I actually have the picture here somewhere. Here it is. And yeah, that's basically it. It's just a SATA drive, and it it's nothing special. It's a standard SSD, but it's just far better than a hard drive. You can pick one up for like £50 right now, which is pretty good. I don't know what that is in euros or dollars. So, of course, if you're in a different country other than England or Ireland, I'd be checking your own country's um, retailers. In Ireland, they're kind of terrible, so we just buy from English places. Um, anyway, onto the graphics card, and I've gone for this Gigabyte GTX 1650. Now, it's not the biggest thing. I wouldn't go like I don't I don't hands down recommend this one. So you can go for a 1650 Super. It's a 1650 Super actually. I forgot to mention that. So this is about similar performance, a little bit better than an AMD RX 580, but this has 4 gigabytes of VRAM and the 580 also has 8. So it's really just a preference case of whether you want to go for Nvidia or AMD. I've used the AMD card before and it's fine, but this also slightly outperforms it. So, you know, it depends whether you want more VRAM or you want to perform a slight bit better for what you get. So, for 1080p gaming, 4 gigabytes of VRAM is basically loads anyway. So, that's why I've gone for it in this situation. For the case, I've gone for the Deepcool Matrix 30, and this is the case here. It's a pretty good case for the price. I've worked for it, or I've worked with it before, and it will. You just want to check like if you get graphics card clearance issues, but other than that, it's fine. There's a hard drive cage here, as you can see, and there's a big tempered glass side panel, which is really good for the price of the case. And you get a fan in the back, and I think you might get one in the front as well. But either way, it's a budget case and it's a good case for the price. So that's what I've gone for. Next, for the power supply, uh, basically what I do is I just go into power supply, especially with this sort of budget. I go into power supply and I just sort by lowest to highest, and I make sure that it has an 80 plus bronze rating, or an 80 plus or an 80 plus bronze rating. In this case, I wanted to go for 650 watt. There was also a 400 watt that was a little bit cheaper, but I wanted to give it a little bit of headroom. So I've gone for this 650 watt GameMax GP. I don't know what the GP stands for. To be honest, don't really care either. It's a 650 watt, 80 plus bronze power supply, and it'll do fine. The cables aren't great on this. They don't look very nice. They're not black cables, but uh, you can get extensions later on. And to be honest, like what you're getting with this is you're getting bare bones a gaming PC. You're not getting extreme looks. You're not getting that uh, wow factor. You're just getting a gaming PC that works. And if you want a little bit of flair in it, this component is not necessary. If you want to save 15 quid, if you want to save 15 quid, you you cut this out. But there is a Cooler Master fan ARGB that I've thrown in here, and that will help with cooling a little bit, but also it will look pretty nice. So what I would actually do with this is I would move this fan here. If there's no fan here, I would move this fan here, and I'd put the ARGB fan right there, and that would look really nice. And yeah, so if you want to get it there, but the other thing you can do is you can take it out and you can just leave it at £525, which is like, I believe it's like just under 580. But yeah, as you can see, what it would have been otherwise, £538 is €601. So we're just over. but I'm sure you can stick your hand down the back of the couch and find that extra 125. And if not, well then, you know, whatever, just cut the fan out of it. You can always add it later. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this build, and if you want me to do any other um parts lists like this, I'm happy to do them. And I will talk to you guys in another video, and have a nice day.